It's starting. We're live. Okay, perfect. I connected to my hotspot this time. Sorry guys, we were having a little bit of an issue. Okay, so we are ready to go now. Crystal & Co. folks, if you are watching, we are so excited to have you here. We are doing 7 low-calorie freezer meals in less than an hour today. We have our April meal plan ready. We want you to also, we have a group that is dedicated to all of our dinner time fun. So we know that moms and dads and families, period, struggle with getting dinner on the table. And so 2 years ago, we created a page called Get Dinner on the Table. And it's actually a group, not a page. So if you, when this Facebook Live is over, if you will go into the search bar of Facebook and put in Get Dinner on the Table and request to join, that is where we talk every day. If you are needing accountability, if you're needing dinner ideas, if you're needing, you know, resources and solutions that'll help you in the kitchen, we share that all week long over on Get Dinner on the Table. And so, I don't know, almost right after we started the page, a few months later, we started doing these freezer meal menus, and they were a huge hit. And so now we offer a new one every month. We weren't real consistent in the beginning, the first year or so. And this year we made the decision at the beginning of 2018 to do a new menu every single month. So that would bring some consistency for you guys as well. So that's what we're doing. And our April meal plan is ready, and it is all lower calorie, healthier options. So I think that you're really going to like them, and you're really going to like what we have set up here. So, like I said, go join Get Dinner on the Table.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear. Angie can't hear?
No. She mentioned not being able to hear, but, I mean, I'm not sure. The mic is on.
I don't know. Let me see.
It's on my end.
Okay.
You'll have to ask them if they can hear.
Can you guys hear us okay? Or, I mean, everything should be set up where you can hear just fine. Are we getting any yeses from the Get Dinner on the Table group? Are we getting any no's?
Mm-mm.
Can you hear? Let's see. Should I write it out?
Better now.
Better now. Okay, perfect. It could have just been a connection issue. So, awesome. Way to go. All right, so to download this, you're going to go to getdinnerontheTable.net is where we have these. We sell them for $4.99 a month. Each month it has a different set of meal plans. What we give you is 7 recipes. Your grocery list is ready to go. So your grocery list looks like this. And we have everything mapped out with what you're going to find. Shop your fridge, shop your pantry, shop your freezer first. And then this is your grocery list for the store. What I like to do is go to walmart.com. I actually have a link that you can use. If you use that link, you will get $10 off of your first order from walmart.com. And then I get $10 as well. And then you can also, you don't have to be a blogger to do that. Like if you want to sign up and share a link with your friends, you can do that. They make it super easy to do. And then you can get $10 off of any $50 order. So anytime I place a grocery order, I always have a $10 off coupon waiting for me. So, all right, so let's get going on this. These are the 7 meals that we're making. Sheet pan, balsamic, chicken and veggies. That sounds so good. And actually, I think that that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. Spinach, artichoke, stuffed chicken. That sounds super yummy. We're going to do a little bit of a modification today just because our breasts are still frozen. But we have a couple of different options for you. You can do it the way the recipe says, or you can do it the modified way that we're going to do today since our breasts are frozen. Chicken fajita chili, which sounds super good. Chicken quinoa and broccoli casserole. That sounds delicious. I love quinoa. My kids love quinoa. I like to hide it and stuff, and they think it's rice or whatever. Sheet pan garlic ranch chicken and veggies. That sounds good. We're doing spinach lasagna roll-ups with wheat lasagna noodles. I'm really excited for that. And then this is super interesting. This is a slow cooker Blackberry pork tenderloin. So Alex spends about a week going through and making different recipes and figuring out themed ideas for us. So she puts all of this together, and she does a fantastic job. And so here we have it. We can put 7 meals in our freezer, double these, and you can put 14 meals in your freezer. These are made for families of 6. I have a large family, and Alex has a pretty large family. So I like to, my recipes, I just add a little bit of extra chicken or a little extra beans or what have you, so that I can feed my family of 8. 2 are little kids, so you know I don't really have to serve for 8 people, but I just add a little bit to the recipe to get it a little beyond 6. Alex has 6 people in her house, so If you are a family of maybe just 4 people, you could easily take these recipes and cut them in half and make 2 separate dinners out of it, 2 separate freezer meals, okay? All right, so let's get going. The very first thing that we're going to make is the sheet pan balsamic chicken and veggies. So this calls for tenderloins, and it actually only calls for 1.5 pounds, but I'm taking it upon myself for my family. I know that we will eat these tenderloins like they're going out of style. So I did a whole 3-pound bag. You do not have to do that. You can stick to just the 1.5 pounds if you want to. But since I did that, I'm going to increase my balsamic vinaigrette and my balsamic vinegar and my classic olive oil. So, and then we've already pre-done our veggies here. This is an onion, which my husband is going to love because he hates onions. We have shredded carrots in here, and then asparagus. Asparagus is in season now, and it is delicious, and it's the perfect thing to put in your freezer meals. And then we also have a red bell pepper in here too. So here's what we're gonna do. Since I have so much chicken in this bag, I'm gonna prepare my marinade in here and put the marinade in with it, and then I'm going to separately freeze all of this. And then I've made a note on a second bag so that I know I'm doing this for both of our sheet pan dinners, because I want the veggies. If I could put it all in one, I would, but we have so many veggies here because it's vegetable season. And so I wanted to utilize as many veggies as possible to spread these meals, or to make these meals feed more people. So we're gonna do a separate bag for our veggies since there's so many. Okay, but before we do that, we have our bag here with the chicken. We're gonna add our marinade, which is going to be 1/2 cup of balsamic vinaigrette, which I just buy, stuff like this, guys, I just buy the store brand. Whether this is from Walmart, if I'm shopping at Target, wherever I'm at, I just buy the store brand. I like the way balsamic vinaigrette smells. Am I the only one?
Amy wants to know if you're putting minced garlic in there.
I'm gonna. Yes, Amy, I'm gonna put some minced garlic in here. Totally. Okay, so Amy, I noticed that on some of the recipes, you had mentioned that maybe you wanted a little more seasoning or whatnot. Always feel free to add a little extra salt. Like, I don't like to add a ton of salt. I'm gonna double this because I've doubled the chicken. I don't like to add a ton of salt to these meals because I like for you to do that on your end, because my salt taste may not be the same as yours. I don't want to make something too salty and you guys not like it. So always feel free, like we talked about before, always feel free to add in garlic, salt, and pepper can change something. And I have a new spice today that I used to use years ago, and I always forget to grab some when I'm at the store, and I added it to my Walmart.com order this last night, and I love it, and I think you're gonna like it too, and it's a great way to add seasoning without adding calories. So we're gonna get to that in just a second. Okay, so I ended up adding a whole cup of balsamic vinaigrette, and then we're gonna add a cup of Italian dressing. I just buy the store brand on this stuff, seriously. We're using it as a marinade, it's not a big deal. This calls for a cup. I'm gonna start with a cup, and I wanna see how far this goes because I don't want too much in here. All right, so here's a cup, and we have to remember that this is also going to marinate our veggies, double that. Salt and pepper, and here's our garlic right here. I bet this is all gone before the end of our
Probably.
meal prepping today. So let's get a spoon and just add however much garlic you want. I'm gonna add about 3 spoonfuls. And then salt and pepper. I did not bring my salt and pepper. Do you care if I use yours, Alex?
It's over by the coffee maker.
So you know what happened at our house last week? Are these Aldi? I love these grinders. So my salt grinder, the almost 2-year-old chunked it and it shattered all over the floor. So you do have to be careful with these. I know some brands make plastic instead of glass.
They used to have plastic ones, but now they're glass.
So these are from Aldi. I love Aldi. And you know, I think they have a online grocery pickup now.
They have a delivery.
Is it a delivery at certain locations? Okay, so I have all of this in here, and here's what I do. I know I show you guys this every time, but I like to take it and I just fold it over to get as much air out as possible, and then seal it up and keep pushing it down. And then I like to lay it down with the rest of the, so you can actually, you just kind of want to work with it to get all the air out. Someone had suggested they use a straw, they get it to the end here and then use a straw to get the air out. I would be terrified that I would die from salmonella if I did that. So I don't know if I would do that, but I do like to get all that air out. And then I want to mix all of my marinade in here, and my garlic and my salt and pepper, okay? And then I have my extra bag here for my veggies, and I labeled it Veggies for Balsamic Chicken, okay? And we love to use, you can get these bag holders. They are amazing. They're adjustable in height in case you're using a different size bag. And we love to use them because it holds the bag so
Sandy
perfectly.
says she loves garlic like you.
Oh, awesome, Sandy. You are my new BFF. I love me some garlic. Alex, have you like ventured into the more garlic in your food yet?
Nah, I use about the same.
All right. Garlic is so awesome. So this is going to be delicious. So we're just going to put all of this when it's time to cook it. We're going to put all of this on a pan. I'm pretty sure we're going to have this for dinner tonight, actually. And when we put it all on a sheet pan, I like to put out a piece of parchment paper on my sheet pan. You could do aluminum foil. I worry about that. I mean, we cook our stuff in aluminum pans, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But I always worry about that when it comes to like the connections to Alzheimer's and whatever. I know, you think I'm crazy, don't you, Alex? Alex thinks I worry too much. Anyway, okay, so we got all of that in there. So when you go to put this on your sheet pan, either layer a piece of wax paper, parchment paper, foil, whatever, and then you're just gonna mix all this together so that that marinade also gets on your veggies. And this is a super, super healthy meal. Super delicious. Okay. And it's chicken tenders, so they're gonna cook faster in the oven, okay? All right, now, the next thing, this is our spinach. So then, let me just back up a second. So now we still have, this was like $1.30, okay? So now this is enough for our salads all week long if we serve side salads with our dinners, okay? So that's always good news. All right, so the next recipe is the spinach artichoke stuffed chicken. Our only problem is I meant to buy my frozen chicken breasts, and then I meant to buy a separate one that was fresh chicken breasts. And I guess I got sidetracked, and I ended up just buying my big, what is that, 20 pounds or 10 pounds? 10 pounds.
I think it was 10.
10-pound bag of chicken. And I still have some of my Zacon chicken in the fridge, but it's frozen, so I just wanted to leave that there. Anyway, so these are difficult to cut. The idea is you're going to cut these and stuff them, but what we're going to do instead is we're going to use our artichoke stuffing and use it as a top layer instead. So we just want to get these evenly distributed in here. And I did buy super tall pans this time because I wanted to be sure that I had enough space. Because sometimes they're too shallow. So I just touched all that chicken. Sometimes they're too shallow and I feel like they spill over. Okay, so what we have mixed up here, this is super, super easy. Here we have frozen spinach, we have artichoke hearts, and we have Swiss Laughing Cow cheese. So the Laughing Cow cheese looks like this. This stuff is awesome. If you're ever trying to lower, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to remind me what you said, but I know that if you are trying to lower your calories and make things like roux or whatever to go over pasta, you can use these. But what I didn't realize that the connection was Swiss. Alex was telling me today that Swiss cheese, if you're wanting to lower your calorie intake, what did you say? Cheese sticks?
Like if you're going to eat a cheese stick, eat a Swiss cheese stick
paid
and not like a
attention.
cheddar cheese stick. It's lower in fat.
Attention to that. I never even thought about that. So this comes with, I think there's 8 wedges in here. I keep these in my fridge. I've never tried this Asiago, which is not what I really wanted. This was a substitution. I just wanted plain Swiss, or I wanted Swiss. But I have used the Swiss garlic and like on the stove, add a little bit of milk and then put your wedges in there. And it makes a roux that you can put over a pasta. But they're just little wedges like this. And I'll also, so this has 2. I actually doubled the cheese because I just wanted to. So there's 2 left in here. I'm gonna send these with Luke Henry in his lunch this week. He loves cheese. He'll dip his cheese in pretzels or whatever, and it's smooth, so it'll be good. Okay, so in here we have that cheese, we have the spinach, and we have artichoke hearts. We're gonna add in some salt and pepper, and then we're gonna add in some garlic. And all the measurements for all of this is in the download. GetDinnerOnTheTable.net, not .com. That's where you want to get it. And it has your shopping list. I just open my shopping list in one tab, and then I have Walmart.com in the other tab. Go back and forth between the two, get my order going, and then I pick it up the next day. Like, I love it. I love it. So, if you're following the directions, you're going to butterfly these chicken breasts and stuff this. But if you want to do what I'm doing, we're going to make this
your garlic.
easier. Oh, I didn't, did I?
Can't even believe you forgot the garlic.
Oh, garlic. I am so sorry to betray you. Okay, let's put some in here, and then we'll put some on there. How's that? Okay, let's get this stirred up. And the cheese, it's so soft, that cheese. It mixed very well in here with all of this. Okay, so we're just going to put that in here. Alex was saying that she has made, I love artichokes. Now, I am not going to tell my family that this is artichokes in here because they're going to be like, bleh. They haven't even tried it. They don't know.
Artichokes are so good.
I've made a pasta before using artichokes, and it's a knockoff of Johnny Carino's. I love it. It's so good. I should probably try to make that again. And it has artichokes in it. Alex was saying you use the artichokes and make a pesto. We need to do that. We need to do that one of these months.
It was good.
You're the first person I've ever heard to do that. So,
it's really good.
Okay. Now, this does not call for any other cheese, but I'm going to go ahead and add some mozzarella cheese on top of here. If you're wanting to cut the calories, do not add cheese. Okay? You need to decide what you want to do. Totally up to you. Okay? I just added a little bit. And then we're going to add our foil, and we're done with that. That was super easy.
What will you serve this with?
I will serve this with probably with a salad and rolls. Or, if I don't want to go with salad, I will do broccoli. And actually, I'll show you guys. I ordered my big bag of broccoli. I love to get it. They don't have it at my Target, so I do get it when I do my Walmart.com order. And it is, I think it's 5 pounds of broccoli. And that will last us. Honestly, I could do broccoli as a side for every dinner, but my kids would get tired of that. So we'll do it a couple of nights a week as our side. And then if we're not doing that, we'll do a salad. I like to do, this would be good over brown rice, honestly. Make your brown rice in the pressure cooker. It cooks in 22 minutes. So take this, let it cook, make your brown rice, and then put your breast on top of a bed of rice. You could put this over a salad. You can have the salad as a side. And then we're on a kick getting those Rhodes rolls, the rolls that are frozen, they're yeast rolls, and you leave them sitting out. My kids like to watch them rise. I think that's fun. Okay, let me label this. And then, so this is called the spinach. We're using spinach in 2 different meals today. Okay, so let me show you. I'm just going to set this on the table. And then here is, I just come in and put my stuff over freezer. This is 5 pounds, I want to say. It's 3 pounds, a little over 3 pounds. This will last me about 2 weeks if I make it 2 times a week. As a side. And what I do is I just take how much I'm going to use. So I divide this into about 4s. I put it in a saucepan. It tells you to only put like 2 tablespoons of water. That's not what I do. I put enough water for there to be about that much in the bottom of the pan. I add salt and pepper, and I seriously add garlic. That's all that I add. Sometimes I'll add butter. And then I just let it sit there and simmer, and that is going while my dinner's finishing in the oven or while the rice is finishing in the Instant Pot, whatever. and it just kind of like steams it and boils it. I don't want it to come to a boil where it's like pulling out all the nutrients, but that's what I do. This is what I buy. And this will be a side for many of these meals this week. What?
Roasted broccoli is really good.
Yeah, you can do that too. Totally.
You can use your garlic and then just drizzle with olive oil and sheet pan in the oven.
Yeah.
It's actually very good.
You do a lot of sheet pan dinners, don't you? Yeah.
Eh.
Yes, no, maybe.
Eh.
Okay, so there's 2 recipes down. All right, our next one is let's do this quinoa chicken. So I have got our chicken breasts are already down here in the container. This is a 9x13 deep dish. You don't have to get a deep dish. Honestly, you can use your glass 9x13s if you don't mind tying them up in the freezer for a while. Okay, so we've got our chicken in here, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chicken breasts. So 1.5 to 2 pounds. And then we're going to use, this is what the recipe calls for poultry seasoning, but this is what we're going to use, Mrs. Dash. I used to use this all the time. Just take this and put it on your chicken breast and grill them. Like, it's a game changer for changing the flavor of your chicken, or adding flavor to your chicken without adding salts and lots of sodium. So instead of poultry seasoning, I'm going to use this Mrs. Dash. It's so good. Okay. And then we are going to do, and then we can also add some pepper. And you can add salt too if you want. Even though if you're trying to avoid salt and you're using Mrs. Dash for that purpose, you just defeated the purpose. Okay, so then, actually I do need some of that broccoli from that bag. It's gonna go in here. I'll put that up. So you can measure it or eyeball it or what have you. Where's one of those knives that we had? Sometimes I have the hardest time opening these bags that are supposed to just rip open. Okay. So I'm going to do this in a bowl, actually. Okay, here's how I'm going to do it. I am going to take about, this does call for broccoli, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I at? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I've got about that much broccoli. And then we're gonna add our quinoa. I'm telling you, like, I have no strength in my hands to open this.
Those are not the easiest.
Okay, so I'm not. All right, then we're gonna add, I am gonna measure this. Didn't go down far enough. It's so tricky. Okay, we're gonna do a cup of quinoa. Harper's not happy.
Good brat.
All right. And quinoa, if you've never cooked with it before, first of all, I got this at Aldi. I shopped my pantry before I shopped. I do that. Seriously, I tell you guys to do it, I do it. This has been in my pantry for a couple of months. I bought it at Aldi, I don't know, 2 months ago, and I think I paid $1.99 for it. Like, it is so inexpensive there. And this will last. This blows up to make enough to feed 10 people, seriously. So we're gonna add our quinoa in here, and it is, I think it's in the pasta family, isn't it? Is it considered a pasta or is it considered a rice? It's a grain.
It's a grain, but it's high in protein.
Oh, it's so good for you. And it, like I said, it expands. Okay, and then we're going to add in 2 cups of broth. So, if I have a recipe that I'm putting in a bag that calls for a lot of broth, I won't add the broth like for a soup or something.
Yes, those are measuring cups from Walmart, actually.
Mm-hmm. These are Pioneer Woman's.
It's Pioneer Woman's measuring cups.
So we're going to do 1. So if I'm doing a freezer bag meal, I won't put a whole if it calls, like if it's a soup or a stew, I will not add a bunch of chicken broth because it just expands in your bag. But something like this where it's only 2 cups and we're putting it into a pan, I'm okay with that. Okay, so let me rinse this spoon off so I can mix this up. And then we're actually going to also add, now, if you want to cut down and make it less calories and you want to cut down on your sodium intake, use a low sodium cream of chicken soup, okay? I just had a regular one in my pantry, so that's what I'm using. But if you're really wanting this to be a lower sodium or lower calorie meal, then you need to make sure that you use the low sodium.
Well, if you wanted to get real skinny on it, you could
tell us how to get skinny.
If you wanted to get really skinny on it, you'd use coconut milk.
Ooh,
but I wouldn't freeze it.
Have you ever frozen coconut milk?
No, not in something like that. I would wait, I would wait and assemble it like day of or whatever to do the coconut milk. But if you were going to do super skinny and really cut out a whole bunch, then coconut milk you can use for pretty much any kind of cream, sauce, or anything.
I have never
It's actually really good.
I love cooking with coconut milk.
Josh hates coconut, but in all the recipes that I've used coconut milk, he never knows that I'm using it.
Well, I like to use coconut milk in my rice and make coconut flavored rice. It's so good, and it's usually in the can. You've got a thick layer on top, and then it's more watery underneath. But stir it all up, and it's like it's still soupy-ish.
It's good.
It's not as thick as what just came out of this can.
And you don't have a whole bunch of sugars and all that good stuff.
It gives a lot of flavor. Okay, so we're going to take all of this. This actually sounds really good. We're going to put this right in here. And when this cooks, we're going to cook it in the oven, and all this quinoa is going to expand. You've had chicken and broccoli and rice in a 1-dish meal. This is kind of sort of similar, but instead we are doing the quinoa. Okay, so now I am going to add some mozzarella cheese to the top. If you are truly wanting to keep the calories down, add very little or add none at all, okay? But I'm gonna add a little bit. All right, that's it. I'm excited to have this. We might have this tomorrow night. And actually, I've got pictures saved in my phone. All this last week when I made dinner, I took pictures, and I just never got around to putting them in the Facebook group. We made, back in February, one of our freezer meals was raviolis, baked raviolis. And I had already made them, that particular freezer meal I had already made, but I bagged up another round of them. And instead of using jarred sauce, I had made all this spaghetti and I had all this leftover sauce. I don't like to buy the beef raviolis because I think it's creepy meat. I don't like that. So I always buy the cheese raviolis. But my spaghetti sauce had, I think it had ground pork in it because I like to buy the Italian pork sausage. And so it's got the good flavors that you've added to your sauce. And so that's what I froze that separately. And that's what I used last night to make raviolis. It was so delicious. Like, no one complained. No one. Everybody loved it. My husband was like, this is the best raviolis you've ever made. And it was, I used leftover sauce. All I had to buy was raviolis. Okay, so this is chicken quinoa. And Amy, I'm eager for you to try this and see how your kids like it and see if they notice, because she has 3 big boys. I think they're like, your kids look to be about 9 or 10 up to like maybe 15, 16-ish years old. So I'm eager to see. I wouldn't tell them that that's quinoa and just see what they think. They're never going to know. I don't think they will. Okay, I'm going to move this over here. All right. The next one is another sheet pan dinner. Move this off to the side. Okay, so here is our chicken, and this is breast, not tenderloin, like the other one. And then all of our veggies, like I said, I made a separate bag for all of our veggies because we have so many of them. Okay, So this is going to get minced garlic. Are your hands going tired?
No, my neck's hurting.
Oh. We're going to put our garlic in here. Okay. And this gets salt and pepper as well. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to use Mrs. Dash in here. I really love this stuff, and it comes in so many different flavors. It's good. Okay, and then we're going to add, this gets a packet of ranch. Again, I buy the Walmart brand, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to add this. I love the way it smells.
Morgan.
Add this in here.
Morgan. Let Lily in, please.
Now, Alex, is there not any oil or anything that goes in with it? No, I guess not. Okay.
No, but you could, I mean, whenever you're baking, you're gonna...
Right, it's gonna seep in.
The chicken is gonna, when it defrosts, it's gonna be a little bit wet. You could always put a little drizzle in there if you wanted.
Nope, that makes sense to do it.
Because it's gonna defrost and then it's gonna be kind of wet and liquidy in there from... But you definitely could add a drizzle of olive oil or whatever if you wanted to. And I've actually made this garlic ranch chicken using chicken thighs.
But that's good because your chicken thighs are going to be juicy and...
Yeah, it was really good. Well, I used the ones with the skin on them. So, and you can't really freeze those because then the skin gets all weird and gross.
So what you can't... Oh, go ahead. Finish.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if...
Yeah.
Then it's all not crispy, kind of.
What I would do is once you get all this on the pan, if you want to drizzle it, I would take this and hold my finger over it and just drizzle it like that. That's what I would do. And that's probably what I will do. But yeah, that's going to all seep in. It's already starting to. Some of these called for oil, some of them didn't. I'm going to put this on here. These are my veggies that are going to go with that sheet pan dinner. And here's part of why I have so many veggies, because in our recipe we say 1 to 2 of each of these, and I just went ahead and did 2 because I want this to stretch out. I am so, like, to me, spring and summer is all about zucchini and squash. Like that, those are and okra. Those are the vegetables, I'm making sure I didn't get my hair on it, of spring and summer. So honestly, I might even, because I have some cherry tomatoes in my fridge, I may slice those up and add them in here too. Cherry tomatoes go perfectly with squash and zucchini and onions. I actually have a recipe on my site for a casserole that uses all that. So here we go. We're just gonna put all this in here. This is gonna be healthy. And I may make, to go with this, I may make some brown rice. This is probably one that I would put brown rice with it and just serve it over the rice, or make a salad and serve it over the salad and then your veggies on the side or what have you. Okay, so remember, all of our seasoning is in this bag, and when we put it on the tray, we're gonna mush it all to, get it all coated together, okay? So, get all of the...
Yum.
Get all the air out. Are you bored, Josh? Josh and Alex, when I got here, they were making a bookshelf with extra scrap wood. They're just so crafty like that. Where do you get it from?
Pinterest. We're learning how to be homesteaders.
You're a homesteader. Okay, so now
Amy wants closer to summer. I think you should do an outdoor grill meals. Love cooking outside, so
That's
I
on our
don't
list.
heat the house.
Yep, that's on our list. We already have that on our list. Yes, ma'am, we're doing that. And we can show you like tricks on taking a bunch of like that 10-pound bag of chicken breast, putting Mrs. Dash all over it, grilling it, and then chopping it all up and having it in the fridge to go over salads or to go in a wrap during the summer. Yes, 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 we will totally do that. Okay, so now let's move on to our tenderloin recipe.
Oh, what about your soup recipe?
Oh, I got that too. Okay, let's do that first. Just kidding. Let's do our chicken fajita recipe. So I must have put... Oh, it's on the page back.
It's right here.
All right. So this sounds super good. And remember, you do not have to make, just because if you're finding this video and it's October, that is okay. These recipes can be done whenever. We are just labeling them as April because that's when we created them. But this can be done anytime that you want to. Okay, so this is another veggie packed recipe. And we have got our chicken breasts in here. And then we have all of these veggies. So this is an onion. Like, we do not skimp on the onions or the garlic. My husband's going to be so happy. And then we have...
That's where all your flavor comes from.
I know. Here's all of our bell peppers. This is going to be so good. So, I know someone's going to say, how are you going to... I probably could have done one less chicken breast in there.
Take one out.
I think so. Where should I put it?
Over there on the side. This one. There we go.
Oh, geez. Where am I going to put it? Like, what meal should
Hold
I
it in
put
your hand.
So, what we're going to do today is...
Put it in that bowl right there.
Put it in the bowl. Woo! Do you need a chicken breast?
We have one lonely chicken breast over here.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So for those of you who want to know what I'm going to do with this, I will make this. And half of my kids do not like soupy things because they think it's going to kill them and it's hot. Yeah. Guess who that is, Alex? Guess which ones those are.
Nick is one of them.
Nick loves soup. Nick loves soup. It's Luke.
Matthew.
And Matthew. Mm-hmm.
Nachos.
So exactly. Turn this into nachos. So take their portion, drain the juice out, put some chips down and put this over that. And if it's hot, then your cheese is going to melt as soon as you put it on there. If it's not hot, heat it up in the oven or the microwave. What else? What's another option? You could put this in a tortilla, make quesadillas out of it, make it just a plain tortilla. This calls for 1 can of black beans, but I want to, you guys know me, and I'm all about stretching my recipes out. And so part of the way that you do that is by adding more beans, adding more grain, what have you. So we're going to do 2 cans of beans here, and I drained the water out of them.
And if you're watching your salt, you can rinse your canned beans
Which
too.
I did. You should do that anyway, honestly, just because.
It's in a can.
All right, just kidding. All right, should we take out another chicken breast? Y'all dare me
Nah.
to put my hand down in there?
No, it's kind of pinched at the bottom there.
I've not had this problem before.
Well, that's a big heaping bag of...
Chicken? Well, I wanted to make sure I had 6
When you take it off there, it'll be
Yeah.
fine, I think.
Okay.
Well, you still
Hold
have to
on,
add your
let's
corn.
our spices real quick. So we are going to add, we need cumin. I'm going to eyeball it. Get the download. It tells you exactly how much to put in.
Crystal doesn't follow directions, if anybody doesn't know.
So if
She's
you
a
know
risk
me,
taker.
You know that if you send me a long message and it's like tons of paragraphs, I'm really good at coming back and saying, now what did you say? I'm a skimmer. I'm a big skimmer. And yeah, you're just going to have to forgive me for that. I'm a skimmer. I'm a good listener. I should be a better reader. But I just like to skim. Why does this call for, it calls for oregano. Where's my oregano? I'm going to put a little
Well,
bit.
because there is actually oregano in taco seasoning.
Yeah, I know.
But just a smidge.
There we go. Was that a smidge? Mm-hmm. Okay.
You
salt
could
and
omit
pepper.
all those and use taco seasoning if you like to just pour it from a package.
But there's a lot of
Salt.
sodium. Yep. and we're
Yeah,
not
but
putting
if you're
sodium,
cutting
so
that salt,
Alex is all about, what are you doing? Are you back on Whole30 again?
I just eat what I want, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
You need to teach us how to make
I have
that
a really
hash.
bad problem with bread. I'm sure many of you guys can
You know,
relate to that.
I've heard you say before that you have a problem with
And chips.
Chips, yeah.
Chips and hot sauce is like a go-to.
It's like its own food group, seriously. Okay, we're going to add a bag of corn.
Well, you're not.
Let's see how this is going to work. This is heavy. Okay, so this gets, where's our liquid?
You're not adding your liquid.
Oh, this is going to make its own liquid?
No, there should be liquid on there.
Is there? I'm looking.
3 to 4 cups of chicken broth just at the bottom. But you'll add that once it's defrosted and you're putting it in the crock pot.
4 cups to a bag. Do not.
It will be a blow-up chicken disaster in your freezer.
All right, so, geez, let's see here.
Once you let it sit a little bit,
Yeah, we're gonna leave it over here and leave it sitting up and see if it, because we still have about this much corn to work in here, which I could fit it over here in this pocket, but we'll wait. So then we're gonna add our chicken broth. This is gonna be delicious. Turn it into quesadillas for picky kids, nachos, put it in a wrap. like as a tortilla, or just sit and eat it as a bowl of chili. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so I'm going to put this right over here. Oh, I want to leave it sitting up. Okay, that just, all those peppers in there sound delicious. Okay, so there was that recipe. Again, go to getdinneronthetable.net and get all your downloads so that you can have your grocery list all in one place, your assembly instructions, and the recipes. Okay, so now we're going to do our tenderloin. So in here I have 3 pounds of pork.
Tenderloin.
Tenderloin or filet. Tenderloin filet. You can do either one. It doesn't matter.
I used a pork butt. That's what's in my crock pot over there, people.
Actually, Alex has this going right now. Okay, pork scares me too. Because pork, like, whew,
You eat bacon?
I do, but it scares me. It really does. And I had a friend tell me, there's really no need to worry about pork ever anymore because things like that just don't happen. I don't really know why they don't happen anymore, but...
Well, never watch Monsters Inside Me or you will never eat anything or go outside again. Ever.
I just can't.
You'll hide in your closet.
So, Alex has this going over here, but like she said, she used a pork butt. It's been going in the crock pot all day. When I came in, it smelled so good. Tell us how you're serving it.
Well, I haven't made the blackberry yet. I didn't want to put my blackberries in there because a couple of my kids are not really big fans of blackberry. And I wanted to be able... I kind of wanted to hog the sauce for myself. So I used sage and garlic and not too much salt, but pepper in the crock pot. And I've just cooked it. I've cooked it all day, and then I've already shredded it. So I bought Hawaiian buns because my kids really love those little bitty Hawaiian rolls.
And a lot of stores have their own brand. Like Walmart, you can get their brand.
I got Aldi's brand.
Yeah, they're just as good.
I'll probably have it on salad.
On this page, there's a blackberry, and every time I see it, I want to grab it and move it because it looks real. I think I got a blackberry in here. Okay, keep on going.
Anyhow, it'll be really good. The blackberries will cook down.
So you can,
in your crock pot.
You can puree it. We have instructions in here how to do
if
that.
you want to remove the seeds, whatever. Who cares?
Blackberries, that is my favorite, one of my favorite fruits. Okay, I'm not making a puree. I'm not measuring either. I'm dumping this whole bag in here.
I would. I'd use 2.
Ooh, that looks so good. All right. So then we're going to add, I'm not measuring, olive oil and balsamic. You did a great job using the same ingredients.
I love balsamic.
It's perfect for summertime when you're grilling, when you're doing sheet pan dinners, all of that.
Yeah. When you put it over chicken, it kind of tastes like wine.
Yeah, kind of. I'm sure you like that.
No. I really like balsamic. Like, I like balsamic from the jar on a salad, and my kids think I'm weird.
No, people do that. My
It's so good.
With balsamic and olive oil. I don't know if I got enough in here because it's got that little stopper. Okay. All right.
Love it. Was that a brand new bottle?
No.
Oh.
I've had it a while. But I hadn't used it. It's got dust on it. I'm glad you found these. I'm glad you created all these ideas to use them on. Okay, so this actually has, like I said, 2 little 1.5 pounders, but that's fine. It's all going to cook together.
Yum.
And then she shredded it in here. So I think we'll serve it over rolls too. With rolls, and that's it.
Yeah, like a pulled pork sandwich.
Mm-hmm. And if you want, get some sweet potato French fries. They're amazing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
make your own. How do you make your own?
Oh.
You just cut them up and
yeah.
oven.
You can use them in the oven.
Yeah.
Olive oil.
I just buy, Walmart has a great, they're pretty affordable, the frozen sweet potato fries. I cook them in the oven. But I guess really that's just taking potatoes and slicing them up. I mean, you're not doing anything fancy to it. Okay, our last recipe is going to take the longest to put together. So let me move all this stuff out of the way. Okay, so here's what we have here. This is our spinach lasagna roll-up. So this is a meatless meal. I think you're really going to like it. I feel like I'm just moving the same things over and over. Okay, so we've already mixed up in here our ricotta and our mozzarella and our frozen spinach. Okay, it's all in here. And I can't remember if I added Italian seasoning or not. Where is it? Oh, here it is.
You were about to add cumin in there.
I know. So I'm just going to add a little bit. Enough.
Yeah.
And And I don't remember if I don't think I added any garlic. So, I might as well add this.
Ooh-wee. Oh, my.
There we go. That is awesome. This is going to be good. You're going to have great breath.
Yes, your family will probably stay away from you, but if you're a mom with many children, you will like it.
That's what it is. You're not eating enough
You're not eating enough garlic.
Garlic.
Or garlic, whichever.
Alex says that we're trying to keep the vampires away at my house.
I'm just saying, they have hearts. Their hearts are like racehorses.
Let me tell you, my husband is the one that loves garlic, and he got me to loving it. And he never has bad breath. Never. I'm sure I do, but he doesn't tell me. He never does. Okay, so let me show you what we did here. This was Alex's brilliant way of thinking. So this is parchment paper. Invest in parchment paper. Use it for your sheet pan dinners. Use it for this. We did the wheat and boiled them till they were al dente, and we have multiple layers here. So we have 3 layers, and I wasn't sure how far this would go. So I bought 2 boxes, but I'm not going to need the second one. So I could probably make a second meal out of this. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. All right?
If you have any leftovers, I would.
We're going to have leftovers. I can tell you right now. I'm just going to, what do you think? Would you flatten it out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I should probably do this over here. Okay. So we're just going to start rolling.
And who cares if it's not perfect?
And honestly, this could go, I could do 2,
we still
I
have
got
a lonely
enough sugar
chicken
on
breast
the
over
pan.
here. It's left out.
I know. We're so sorry, chicken breast. We're just so sorry for you. Okay, we're going to roll it up. And these have just been sitting, like, if we had left them sitting in the pan, they would have all stuck together. So that was a good call, Alexandra, to pull them out of here.
Thanks.
You're so smart.
Thanks.
Okay, so this just takes a little bit of time. So something else you could do is do the stuff by the shells, the big huge shells that you can stuff. We've done that before.
We did do that.
One.
I think that was on the first one that we ever did.
And we were like, we're going to make 72 meals in 15 minutes. Yay!
However, if you are going to take the time to do this, I would definitely double it. I mean, you have enough stuff to double it. I would definitely double it and have one now and then have one later in
Amen,
2
sister.
weeks or 3 weeks.
Amen, sister.
And if you are, if you're a family of just like you and your husband, or you're cooking only for 2 or 3 people, you could always get the smaller pan, like a bread pan, one that you cook banana bread in or whatever, and just do a couple. Do 4 in there. You have 2, your husband has 2, have a salad, whatever. I mean, it's definitely something you could pare down to fit your needs.
Okay, this one is 2 that are stuck together that are broken.
Who cares?
It's all going to mesh together. Look at how great that is. It really doesn't matter.
These are not meant to be pretty. This is not whatever that food cooking show is.
Hell's Kitchen?
Hell's Kitchen. You watch that?
I do not. Are you kidding me? I don't have time for that.
We watch MasterChef. We watch MasterChef, the kids edition. My kids love watching that. It's so cute.
Fun.
These kids are super talented too.
Right? So, do any of your kids want to be chefs?
Mason's the only one that has ever mentioned that he...
Look at how easy that rolled up.
But Isaac is doing the culinary program next year at the high school. So,
That's exciting.
my 15-year-old is... I told him, I said, it's a great way to learn all the cooking necessities of a husband is to be in the culinary program so that you know how to cook for your wife when you get married.
Right? That's awesome. This is coming together super easy. This was a perfect idea to put it on a pan like this. Just brilliant. And look, it rolls up. I mean, once you get going, it goes so fast. And like Alex said, there's really no reason not to just go ahead and knock them all out right now. And double it. I'm going to need, do you have any more pans? Any more metal pans?
I don't have any metal pans.
I'm going to, I think I've got one at home.
I bet you could freeze the filling. Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna. Would you layer it? No.
Well, you're just taking it home,
Yeah.
and then you could transfer the top
Sure
layer.
could. Okay.
Sure.
Good idea. Good looking out.
Just for travel purposes, there's going to be a second layer on the top.
Yeah. Don't layer it. Do not layer it. But I'm just doing this so I can get it home. But look, it goes so fast. So here's something else that you can do to make this even easier. Get some girlfriends together, and you could get 7 girlfriends, so 6 friends plus yourself. Make 7. And that one's broken. I'm gonna save it. Everybody brings everything that they need to make all the meals, okay? And then y'all make your stations, and you assign one person to assemble all of these. You use one person to assemble all of the sheet pan dinners, and use, you know what I mean? Like, do it in an assembly line with, well, not an assembly line, but like a station where one person's dedicated to all of that. Because once you get going, this goes really fast. And then you and all your friends will have all 7 meals done in like 10 minutes. Seriously, it won't take long at all if you conquer and divide. So yeah, do that. And then you're all encouraged to, you can hold each other accountable all week long for, you know, did you cook? Did you get your dinners done? It's so easy to end up in the drive-thru lines. And we have 6 kids at home. And when we do that, we spend $50 minimum. If I take my whole family through Chick-fil-A, I am that person at Chick-fil-A who you hear them say, pull forward, your order is $64. That's just feeding my family one meal through a drive-thru. So if I do not lay dinner out, and if I do not, I'm telling you, freezer meals are just my saving grace right now. If I don't do this, then I am stuck at 6 o'clock with nothing to feed my family. Okay, there's stuff in my fridge to feed them, or there's stuff in my freezer to feed them, but nothing is, I'm missing bits and pieces, I'm missing part of the ingredients, or it's not defrosted. It would be a pain to defrost it at this point. I do have a defrost board that I love to use, but in situations where I don't want to do that, or it's too late, I didn't get it put in the slow cooker, having the freezer meals done in my freezer, and all I have to do is grab it, and the night before, that is my routine. So what I do is, the night before, I decide, we've started some new chores at our house. My kids are making money now doing chores, and they are legit making money, Alex. Like, they are so motivated by money, and I'm not paying them a ton. The teenager's making the most. But, so while they're cleaning up, Luke's zone is the kitchen. And so while he is loading the dishwasher, I am figuring out what we're going to have tomorrow night. I pull it out of the freezer and I put it into the fridge. And then the next day, if it still needs some defrosting, I set it out to defrost, or if it can go in the slow cooker or whatever, I start getting all of that, together. On Sunday or Monday nights, I sit down and figure out what we're having for the whole week. I order any groceries that we need, or order groceries for this purpose. But when I do all of those things, this one I don't need. Do you need an extra noodle?
I'll put it with this sad chicken breast over here that got kicked out of the recipe.
But all of those things are what help me to, if I am not prepared, then we end up eating out all the time. And it's a waste of money. And honestly, how many times do you go out to eat and at the end of it you're like, this was awful. I could have done this. I could have done such a better job at home myself, and it would have been better quality. I would know that, what's going into it. Seriously, if you can just sit down and start with just 7 meals, making freezer meals, and you see how much smoother it makes your week every week, with getting dinner on the table and your family eating dinner together. Once you do that, that success is going to make you want to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, because it's worth it. It's worth feeding your family better food. It's worth sitting down together at the table. It's worth what it's going to save your budget. It's worth it. If you're not sure that you want to spend $4.99 on our meal plans, which are over at getdinneronthetable.net, if you will go to crystalandcomp.com, when you're on the page, when you go to exit the page, there's going to be a pop-up, and we offer you a free 5-day printable that gives you a taste of kind of what this is. And that pack it only has 5 meals in it, but it's chicken fried rice, like homemade chicken fried rice. It has the Ritz casserole in it, the Ritz chicken casserole. What else is in that, Alex? I don't remember. But if you go to my site and look, it'll pop up on the screen, and download that and get your first taste, and then it will put you into our automation of emails, and I send you daily emails to help you get your dinner done and to help you meal plan better, or to help you start meal planning if you've never started. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to pour on 1 to 2 jars of sauce of our spaghetti sauce, or if you have leftover homemade sauce in your fridge, use that. And then you're just going to top it with mozzarella cheese, and you're done. And put your foil on it. I'm not going to do that because I've layered this, so I'm going to take it home to do that. But that's it. Now you have 7 meals for your whole week. And if you divvied this up or doubled it, then you have even more than that. So I hope that you found this super, super easy. I did want to share with you, so each week or each month when we do these videos, we try to find a product on Amazon that everybody's talking about, and we test it out or try it and see if it's legit and if it's something that works and if it will make busy moms' lives easier. What did we do? The first month we did those, they are silicone mats. There's 3 of them in a package. It's called the Better Sponge, and it's like a dual purpose. It's a sponge. It can be used to get hot stuff out of the oven. It can be used for multiple different things. It's super cool. There's
one for scrubbing dishes in there.
Yeah, we showed you guys, we tested it or whatever, the very first back in January. In February, we did the rolling, like,
the rolling knife.
Sword blade knife.
Sword blade knife.
Have you used it? Have you been?
It's yeah, I mean, I've used it maybe once or twice.
It makes it super easy to like dice.
But I'm not good with knives anyways, so
well, you chomp
I have to
like
be supervised.
Oh
I cut myself a lot.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
So this month, what I wanted to show you is if you are, I love this, and there's a couple of reasons why I love this, and these are all over Amazon, and we'll share a link with you. But this is a collapsible, like seriously, this takes no room at all to store. I love collapsible stuff. And actually, years ago, I used to sell Tupperware, like when I was 22, 23 years old. And they were just starting with the collapsible stuff then, and it was super cool. So I love to see that all these other brands have kind of taken this in and adapted it to their own thing. So one thing that I hate about colanders, so first of all, you pop this out, and it's a 2-quart colander, okay? So we have our colander here. But one thing that I hate about colanders, and you can get these in different sizes, is when you set it down in the bottom of the sink and you dump your pasta in, what happens? Like it doesn't go down the drain right away, and all that juice or all that water comes up, and it's like sitting in your sink. I'm a germaphobe, and now it's like all the nasty germs, and the water's here, and it's getting all over your noodles. That is disgusting to me. I hate it. So this, again, there's different sizes, there's different variations, but this has a hook on it. You hook it on the side here, you dump it in, and it drains right out into your sink, and it never touches. Your food doesn't sit in the strainer sitting in that nastiness that's in your sink. And then it also has these adjustable little like knobs here so that you can adjust it to what you need for your sink here. So we will share a link. There's all kinds. There's a different one that goes over your sink that has like handles that come across your sink, and you just dump, and then you don't have to worry about it sitting in your sink again. There's lots of different options. We'll share some of those with you, but I thought this was worth sharing, and it's super cool, and I love how easy it is to store as well. So super, super cool. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a win for sure. All right, and then next month, I've already bought our item for next month, and you're gonna love it because it has to do with garlic. And it's a super nifty tool that you can use in your kitchen, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So come back next month for that. All right, I think that's it. Do we have any questions at all? Are there any thoughts on, leave us some comments on what you would like to see in the future meal plans. We've already gotten the grilling suggestion. We are totally gonna do that. That was already on our list of things to do. But let us know for the next couple of months what some other, do you want instant pot recipes? Do you want slow cooker? Do you want more variations of different meat types? Tell us what you want, and we are happy to put that together. Alex does a really good job putting all this together. All right, guys, y'all have an excellent rest of your Sunday, and we will see you next month. Go to getdinneronthetable.net to download your recipes, assembly instructions, and your grocery list for the 7-day meals, or go to my site if you want to try out the freebie pack before you buy. All right, we'll see you later. Y'all have a great Sunday. Bye.